Hey, this gal's actually using the bridge. So far, she's the only one. Good job, Berta. Everybody else has a tendency to walk through the water just off the bridge. Yeah, like that guy right over there. Yeah, it's winter time. Just stroll right through the water. Don't worry about frostbite or nothing. So anyway, I was going to just adjust town over there. Well, in doing the quest for Unigost, running across this area... Oh, I had somebody leave the village. Oh, I think they're... Oh my gosh. What was it? 4 people left the village? Great. Oh, they have no food. Where'd all the food go? Oh, no. 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 Why do we not have food? I put a bunch of food in here. There's no food. How do we have no food? I completely failed that. Hey folks, Nas here. Got another episode of Medieval Dynasty. I appreciate you guys coming and joining me for the video and everything. So, from the last episode to now, there has been a lot of changes, as you might be noticing. So, if you look across the lake, you might be able to see... Let me get my bow out and see if we can zoom in a little bit. There's one hut left over there. That is where our village used to be. I decided from the last episode, that I was probably going to start redesigning the village over there. Well, I ended up getting the Pay Taxes quest from Unigosts. It's actually in-game. I want to say it's been a couple of years that have passed. Yeah, see, we're in year 7. I believe the last episode was year 4. Or maybe towards the end of year 4 or something like that. So it's been a couple of years. I've been doing a ton of work. I'll put some of it maybe on the camera and stuff. I have been recording some. I just haven't been able to be on mic. So anyway, back to the Unigost story. I'll go back to the mic in just a minute. So I got the Unigost story to pay the taxes. What was the quest line to where you have to go and visit Theobald and Carolina and all of that, different little towns to gather the taxes from the other towns for Unigost. And then, of course, he would, not charge you your taxes. Well, I went ahead and did that. And then in doing that, we also completed the last chapter quest that we were on, which was this one right here. Chapter 9, The Dynasty Continues. And if you remember, we got our wife. We talked to her into having a baby, who is now, I believe, 2 years old. But we were left with trying to reach 5,000 Dynasty reputation. And I want to say that we left off roughly at 47 or 4,800 Dynasty reputation was where we were at. When I completed this quest... completed the taxes quests. No, that's Elwyn's story. Where is it? Unigost? Yeah, this one right here. Yes, the Unigost story 2. We got that one again, where we had to talk to Carolina and Myrna and Theobald to gather their taxes and stuff. When I completed this, it actually gave me Dynasty reputation, apparently. Now, granted, it doesn't say that it gives a reward, but for whatever reason, mine gave me reward. Now, I was doing this just because it needed to be done, and I had to get my taxes done, but I still didn't have a mic, which I'll address that in just a moment. So I really wasn't able to actually get on camera and go through this quest line. So I was just going to go ahead and do it because I was still doing a lot of work with the new town, which I will also get into in just a second. So anyway, this gave me Dynasty Reputation, which completed this. Now you see here, it actually says this one gives you rewards, but the Unigoth Story 2 does not. So I had no idea how I got Dynasty Reputation, but now I'm up to 10,073 Dynasty Reputation. So I got quite a bit of Dynasty Reputation. Almost another maybe 300 Dynasty Reputation above the 5,000 that the chapter quest gave me. Whoops. Where'd it go? This one. Right there. Yeah, because see, that one gave me 5,000. So, I'm not real sure where all the Dynasty Reputation came from beyond the 5,000. I'm not even sure how I got Dynasty Reputation for this. But, if I'm wrong and this one does give you Dynasty Reputation, then feel free to leave a comment, in below and let me know. But I know the last times that I've paid taxes to Unigost, it doesn't give you reputation. So anyway, that was weird. And then anyway, I had tried to record 3 episodes. Now we're getting into the mic situation. So I had recorded 3 episodes. Unknowingly, my microphone had stopped working on my headset because I have a headset with a microphone boom on it. Well, apparently my microphone stopped working. Now, I can turn my microphone on and off. It gives me an audio signal in the headset that lets me know that it's either on or off. But when it was on, there's a small light on the end of it that's supposed to be on when it's on. Well, mine was never on. Well, I didn't notice it because it's not in my field of view. Now, granted, I've got eye issues and wear some glasses and things like that, and I can't see the end of the mic in my normal field of view. So I had no idea that it wasn't recording. And when I look at my recording software and checking to make sure the video was recording, I'm typically not talking when I'm setting that up, so I don't notice the fluctuation in the readout for the microphone. So I paid no attention to that, just assuming the microphone worked. Well, I recorded 3 videos over a period of 2 days, and none of them have voice audio. They have game audio, but they don't have any voice audio. And I only realized that I had gotten 3 videos in with no voice when I started to edit those videos. And it kind of sucked because I did have a couple of quests that I had done. I'm not even sure if I had the video of where I talked about moving town. Hopefully I'll have to go back and check that. So I'm actually recording this now, and I've got one more video that I've got to edit after I record this video. So my real life recording schedule is a little hectic, pun intended. But anyway, so I panicked, and of course I immediately started trying to figure out why my microphone wasn't working. I was going through the software, so the time that I normally spend recording some videos, I spent about 3 hours trying to diagnose why my mic wasn't working, and just come to the conclusion that it literally just stopped working. There was no software problem. It was, I'm assuming, the microphone itself. I haven't been wonderfully pleased with this headset that I have. I'd been trying to actually find a replacement for it. I just haven't really wanted to spend the kind of money that I spent on this headset again. Because I spent about $120 on this headset, and it lasted me, I think, maybe a year before I really started having issues with it. And I was looking about 3 or 4 months ago for a new headset, even asking in some forums with some really nice suggestions, but they're in a money value that I am not willing to spend on headsets. So I panicked and I went on the big website that starts with an A and found me one with some decent reviews that was low cost. So my voice may sound a little bit different than it has in the past on past videos and stuff, and that's why, because I now have a new microphone set up, and I actually am able to record my voice separate from the game. So that way I don't corrupt the game files with bad audio files. And that way I can actually, if I have to, I can dub over some, videos and things like that. And anyway, so on to the next thing is town. So I've moved town, and like I'd mentioned in the beginning of the video, there's one house left, and I think it has 2 ladies still living in it. I have also started incorporating men into the equation here because I've realized I can't expand town anymore having 2 women live in a house, because obviously that just doesn't work for having babies. And there's no way to, in the game, to like adopt. So like you can't adopt a child and for a family or anything like that. And I'm not sure if they're going to incorporate anything like that in the game. However, I do want to play the game as intended, and the game is intended to have a man and a woman living in the same hut, and then they have a child. So I've put up a bunch of houses, and as you can see, I've been walking through town since I've been talking, so you can actually see kind of the layout and everything. But I've put up enough houses to accommodate what I have. And I've got one house in town that I think still has 2 ladies in it. And then I have one house across the lake that has 2 ladies in it. Every other house has a man and a woman. And I've got one extra house here in the front that is a 4-person house instead of a 3-person house. And I only did that for symmetry purposes. That way, because I consider this to be the main entrance off the road, even though there's an entrance over here. So this house is literally occupied by one couple who is probably not in here. No, everybody's out working. And then this house right here is for my family. And there is my child, Godfrey. He is 2 now, I believe, right? Management? Yes, he is 2. So it's been almost 3 years since I started this whole thing and had the problem with the mic. I've spent a lot of evenings, because I usually get on and play the game in the evening time in real life. And I usually have a couple hours in the evening time to play. And I've been playing very hard since we're pretty well done with, as far as I know, with most of the quests, except for, where'd I go? Journal. There it is. This one here, I have to talk to Sambor. So I know that Elwyn's story continues for a little bit. I have seen some other videos by other people who have already gone through this. So I know that this story continues for a little bit, but I haven't wanted to get involved with it until I kind of had my town in order. And then, of course, the Unigas Story 3, it just says wait for further events, which I'm assuming probably has to do with the Elwyn quest. But I don't necessarily have a quest right now to where I have to grind out reputation. So that's why I have been focusing on moving the town. So as you can see, we come across the bridge here, and then town is right there. You've got this split in the road, and it tells you, Baranica and stuff is that way, Denica is over there, and then obviously Gustovia is just down the road. What I did is I put the entrance right off of this little split. Now, you see these little sticks here? I've got those literally laid out just so I can kind of keep track of where I want my borders to be. But this fence is going to end up being a palisade wall. So the big tall log walls. And I'm going to have that go all the way around the village. Because I know that they eventually are going to start introducing bandits or something into the game. I don't know when or anything like that, but I do want to start getting prepared for that. And then if you go around on this other side over here, I've got a secondary entrance as well. And as of now, these will be the only 2 entrances into the village. And then I plan on doing, this little stick fence, which almost looks like a woven basket kind of a thing. I did lay out stone walls. Now I've put most of the buildings are majority of stone. And once I kind of started placing some stones out, tested to see how it looked, I thought it looked like too much stone. So I started going with these little stick fences on the interior. And then you'll see that I've got the stick fences going all the way from the entrance here. And I've left a little space because I'm not sure how much space is going to be needed for the palisade. But I just put it there for reference purposes. And then of course I'll have little openings to where people can get into these backyards and stuff, because if I start incorporating maybe some of the animal pens or something, I will put them in these backyards here, like people, would be working in their backyard or something. I'm not sure, just little ideas. But this is, like the main drag here. I've got the hunting lodge. Now I kept the hunting lodge here. That way they had easy access to the entrance here, because they have to leave the village to go do what they're doing. However, I put a woodshed over back behind here a little bit, and they still have to leave, but not all the time. But then I've got the tavern too. There's some interesting stuff going on here. I will leave you two alone. So I put the woodshed and stuff back here. So this is kind of my working district. So this is the food storage. You see we've upgraded a lot of this stuff to the level 2. So I got the resource storage 2, the food storage 2. I want to make sure that I've got food for them in here. Yeah, I got 103. Good. I've been just keeping the roasted meat because we get a ton of meat from the hunters. So I've got the hunting lodge, which is a hunting lodge 2, which occupies 4 people, I believe. Oh, there's a guy working over there. Oh, good job, buddy. He's making stuff. Anyway, we got the sewing 2. Is there a lady in here working? No. I don't remember if I had somebody assigned there or not, but I think I do. But I've got this guy here. He's kind of working in the blacksmith shop here. I don't see that he's made anything. If he has, he doesn't put it in there. But I've got a woodshed here. Again, this is the woodshed 2. Does it tell me? Yeah, it does. It just did. Where'd it go? Woodshed 2. You can tell the woodshed 2 because the woodshed 1 does not. This area is not covered on the woodshed 1. But the whole layout looks identical. And then, of course, we have a few planks in there, which I think I put those in there just because I had leftovers from building these little houses. I tried to make some of these houses that were closer to this main drag slightly different. So you can see I used logs on maybe a corner and then stone the rest of the way. Same thing there. It's kind of reversed, the opposite corner. And same thing on this one here. But then all the others, you can see I kind of started just doing stone, and then I would place windows in different areas. So some of them have windows in the back, some of them don't. See that one doesn't have a window in the back. So I didn't get too creative because I was really trying to just get stuff up and get town moved, because I can always change the walls later. Now this house here actually comes with greenery inside it. No, actually it doesn't. I was able to place it down, and then of course, obviously within these trees, the branches are just poking through the walls. I don't know if they will address that in the game later, to where once you place a house, maybe it automatically removes those branches from poking through the walls. It would be nice if they did, or if they afforded you the ability to prune the trees. So like I could cut this limb off here and maybe that limb right there, and they become sticks or something. I don't know. But that way you could leave the trees close to the houses, but they don't actually go through the walls and stuff. Because that would be kind of cool. Because I really like where I've moved town, and the ability to have the trees in town. The other spot that we had, it was okay, but I had terrain problems and things, and town was not laying out like I wanted it. So being over here, I've been able to lay town out pretty nicely, actually, to where things seem to flow. And then, of course, we got our crops, and I think this is still the barn 1. Yes. But I do have barn 2 available to me. Barn. No, here, barn 2. I just got barn 2 available to me not too long ago. At 1,500 points, we're almost to 1,700 now. So I think eventually I will probably... I don't know if I'm going to move barn 2 and maybe place it over this direction. Or maybe I can place barn 2. If there's enough room, I might place barn 2 at the end of this roadway. So that way you literally walk up the roadway and into the barn, and then of course you're back over here. And then maybe I can put another resource storage here, because I would like to have a second resource storage because we're limited and I keep having to take stuff out so we don't hit the limit. Because once you hit the limit, they don't seem to put anything in the resource storage shed. They start storing it in the chest for whatever their workstations are. Yeah, see, we only have 1,500 and we're almost at 1,200 right now. So anyway, what else? We've got the houses up. I talked about the microphone, moving, town and everything. We've got a pretty big settlement here. I don't have all of the fences up. As a matter of fact, I took down a lot of the ghosts because I walk around with my hammer out a lot and they were interfering. I've got houses placed, so I don't really need the fences up. So I did put the fences up. That way I could gauge how far off the roadway I was putting the house, because I wanted each house to have a little bit of a front yard. Now you'll notice that I've been putting these campfires in front of some of these homes. A lot of times when the NPCs come to their house, they'll actually light the campfire before going in the home. And that way it helps illuminate town a little bit, since we don't have exterior lighting in the game yet, or at least as of recording this video. Hopefully at some point they will incorporate some type of exterior lighting, whether it's on like a stick, so like you would have a lantern on the top of a stick, or whether you have some type of maybe a torch holder that you can mount on the outside of the wall and have a torch in it or something, that the NPC again could light as they enter the home. Or maybe there's somebody that works in town that goes around and lights all of the little torches and campfires in town. That's kind of their job when it gets dusk or something, because sometimes it'll get very dark and very late at night before some of these NPCs come home, and before they would even light this campfire. And if it's beyond so if you look up at the directional thing at the top of the screen, where you see the two little marks indicating that you have 3 days in a season, if the little arrow indicator is beyond the little mark between days, they consider that to be morning. And I noticed they do not light these if it's considered morning. So if they're coming home that late at night. But if they come through and they're headed to their house, when it's early in the evening, like it's just barely starting to get dark, then they'll come by and they'll light that, and it'll stay lit until morning. And then morning comes, and it seems like some of these campfires, they literally just automatically go out, all of them. So there seems to be a timing thing, and it looks like I need to adjust that fence because it's right on the edge of the path. So, but again, I've put some of these fences here just as markers until I get them laid out specifically. Is she gonna go? Oh shoot. I was hoping she would want to go around there. I wanted to make sure they walk through there, because if not, I'm going to put a fence here to keep them from getting stuck. So I don't think there's going to be a problem with this house. It looks to be there's enough space. But like on my house, I don't think there's enough space. I'm not sure if I can even get through there. Let's see. Can I get through there? Oh, I can. So if I can walk through there, maybe they can walk through there. Can I get through here? Now see, I cannot get through there. So what I may end up doing is maybe adding a small fence or something. Maybe one from here to the wall or something, and then maybe here to the wall or something, just to keep them from walking over there and getting stuck. I haven't noticed them getting stuck yet, but something tells me if they can, they will. But anyway, this is the new town that I have been completely walking through and everything. I showed you the entrance. We talked about my mic issues. I had to roll back the game a little bit because I had some issues with food. I may include a clip at the beginning of the video that kind of illustrates what I'm fixing to talk about. But I had already started recording this video once with my new mic, testing everything and making sure I had the sound and everything right. But I started noticing on the left-hand side of the screen that I had villagers leaving the village. And when I opened my management tab and checked on my villagers, it all said that they had no food and they were all down to like 10 and 11%. And it showed like, I don't know, 6 or 8 people leaving the village already. So when I came over and saw that they had no food, I came in, I opened the chest, and there was food in it. I had food in it because I specifically put food in here for the villagers. I go and I cook the roasted meat for the most part and make sure that they have that. Now this roasted meat here, I don't think I did that. I think I have the tavern person or something making roasted meat. But I'm constantly having meat made because we have a lot of meat. But yet now we have a lot of carrots because carrots were just harvested. But anyway, maybe I'll go through and I'll turn some of this meat into stew or something. But when I opened this, of course, I was freaking out. Why is there villagers leaving my village? I have food in the food storage. But I went back and I watched the video again, and I noticed down here where it tells you the weight, it showed that I have, a 500 kilogram weight limit, but the amount of weight in it was 0. So apparently it was some kind of glitch in the game or something to where when maybe I loaded in the game, because I had loaded in the game and started recording, and then it was, I don't know, 10 minutes after I started recording maybe, that they started leaving town. But it was indicating that this value was 0 when there was clearly food in there. So it should not have been reading 0. So I have a feeling that when this value read 0, then the villagers were thinking there was no food. So needless to say, I panicked, but I ended up rolling back the game to a previous save, which unfortunately that save did not have these 4 houses, right? No, these 4. So that one there, yeah, see, that guy just lit the fire. He came home, lit the fire, and then he went inside. See, that one there is lit. And the gal that lives in this hut here sometimes lights this fire as well. Is he lighting his fire? Yep. See there? He lit his fire just before he went in the house. awesome. You guys are awesome. Now that person there walked right past this one and did not light it. So maybe I have to put that closer to the door. I'm not sure. So anyway, the previous save did not include these houses, so I literally had to come back, and I had time wasted because of that, and had to rebuild that house and these 3 houses, and it also included a resource storage 2 back over here. Now, I have not built the resource storage 2 here because in the process of building all of this, the barn 2 came available. And that's when I was thinking, okay, maybe I'll put the barn maybe over here and then put the other resource storage 2 backed up to the first resource storage. So then I'll have that resource storage that you can see between the buildings, and then I'll have a resource storage here. And then I also want to adjust this crop because there's actually 2 squares between the pathway and the crop here, but there's only 1 square. I want to fix that because that bothers me. So I'll end up adding, I'll eliminate this crop, pull it over 1 more, and then redo it and everything, because this is only wheat and they don't plant wheat right now. And then maybe I will tear this down and put the barn 2 over there, which I think the barn 2 houses more workers as well. And then I could put a resource storage 2 here. What do we have left as far as building? So we're at 24 of 30 building limit. So I've got plenty of room, and if I'm adding literally 1 more building, then that we still have 5 buildings left. I need to build 2 buildings for houses, and then move 2 ladies from either the one house in town that has 2 ladies or the house across the lake that has 2 ladies, and then eliminate 2 ladies because I'll be getting men to come in and house with those ladies. And then eventually, if the chemistry is right between these people, they will start having children. So that way I've got everybody taken care of. The men can take and work in place of the women when they are out of commission while they are taking care of the children. So I think I've got all of that solved. So anyway, this was a big update and a lot of information in you know, the half hour or whatever I've been recording this. I appreciate you guys joining me for this again. I know we didn't get anything done in this video, but there was a lot that had happened between videos, and I wanted to update you guys on what was really going on. And I thought this was a good time to walk around town while I'm talking. That way you can see the layout and all the different buildings, and I could talk about my plans for the village and everything. I feel very comfortable. I'm very happy with my choice to move the village. It's just taken me a lot of time to get it moved, get all the buildings built, collecting materials. I mean, I've been chopping down trees left and right to try and get enough logs to build everything. So you can see stumps laying all over the place. And having the woodshed in town is actually really nice because your woodworkers, or your woodcutters, they actually will walk out here and they will go to trees that you haven't cut down, and then they will pull the wood from those. So I typically leave all of the birch trees and all of the pine trees because they actually give you less logs than the maple tree. So I go and I chop down the maple trees and leave the others, and they still have trees that they can pull from. But anyway, I have talked enough. My throat is getting dry, so I need to take a drink. And again, I really do appreciate you guys coming and joining me for these videos. If you hadn't hit the subscription button, please feel free to do that. I would love to see you subscribe to the channel. Make sure you hit the notification bell. That way you're notified when I upload more videos, and maybe hit the like button if you liked the video. If not, hit the dislike button. Maybe leave a comment. Let me know what you think about the town or what you think about the videos. Let me know how the new microphone sounds. If I need to start making little tweaks on how it sounds over the video or whatnot. I'd love to read comments from you guys. But anyway, again, thank you for watching. I will see you folks in the next one, and happy hunting.